Hey guys, it's Will again. Today I'll be leading you guys through 3 different classes. First class will be yoga without the balls. Second part would be same sequence with the balls. And then the third piece is basically just a cool down. So to get started, grab your balls and let's begin. May the balls be with you. So starting off in child's pose, you guys give yourself a moment here to just focus in on the breath. Relax the belly, sinking down onto your hips. Close the eyes and breathe. Slowly coming up onto all fours, transitioning to tabletop pose. Set it up here, you guys. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Stacking your hips right over the knees and releasing the toenails behind you. Doing some cat-cow first. As you inhale, go ahead and lift the tailbone, relax the belly, lift the chest, look up. And as you exhale, tuck in the tailbone, roll in the belly, tuck in the chest, then the chin. Inhaling, start with the tailbone, relax the belly, go ahead and scoop up your chest, look up. And as you exhale, tuck in tailbone, the belly, the chest, and the chin. A couple more rounds just like that. So as you inhale, scoop it up as you look up. And then as we exhale, scoop it back in. Inhale again, allow yourself to just scoop up, inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck in everything as you squeeze. Coming back to neutral spine, spine is nice and long. We're going to start off with hip circles onto the right side. So pick up your right knee off the floor. You're going to bending at the knee, go ahead and lift your heel. And then bring your knee to the chest, to the elbow, back to neutral. And then swing it for circles for 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse the circle. Knee to elbow, chest, and back. For 2, 3, and 4. Adding back bend, so with the knee neutral, inhale, scoop up the heel to the sky as you lift the chin, look up. And as we exhale, draw the knee to the nose, squeeze. Inhale again, scoop up. And then exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale again, scoop it up. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale again, let's scoop it up. And as we exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Gently place the knee back down, come back to tabletop, switching sides. So picking up that left knee, straighten the spine, circle through the left hip. So bring the knee to the chest, elbow, and then back to neutral. Circling up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reverse the circle. Start off with the elbow, chest, and back. For 2. Now adding a back bend, so keeping the knee bent, go ahead and inhale, scoop up your heel, look up. And exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale again, scoop it up. And exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale again, scoop it up. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale again, scoop it up. And as you exhale, knee to nose. Now slowly landing your knee behind you, we're going to sit up onto our heels. So I like to tuck my toes as I sit back. We're basically going to come up onto the knees, onto the heels, so you can do some rolls on the wrists here. Maybe rolling through the elbows as well. And then roll it the opposite direction. So the wrists, the elbows. Adding some shoulder rolls, go ahead and shake the energy off. Place the left palm down as you stack the shoulders. Roll one arm, your right arm over one direction. And circle the opposite direction. Coming back to neutral, switch sides. So right palm plant, stack the shoulders, and circle that left arm one direction. And circle the opposite direction. Good. Slowly coming back onto all fours. We're going to make our way first into turbo dog. Picking up the knees about a couple of inches off the floor and really engage at the belly here, guys. Nice dome between the shoulder blades. Press onto all 10 fingers onto the floor. Act like you're going to jump to the top of the mat. So take one more breath here. And then we slowly pedal our way back into our first downward facing dog. Get nice and comfortable in your downward facing dog. Make adjustments as much as you need to. Maybe you spread the legs a little bit wider, adding slight bend at the knees as much as your hamstrings needs you to. And then as you press your heels down to the floor, go ahead and bend at the knees. Inhaling, we look up. And exhale, slowly walk yourself to the top of the mats. Come to ragdoll for a moment here. Rest the crown towards the floor. Maybe we add gentle sway side to side. And then release your fingers all the way down to the ground. But roll up one vertebra at a time. As you come all the way up to standing, pick up the shoulders and roll them up towards the ears and back. And roll them the opposite direction. Shrug the shoulders towards the ears to bring your shoulders back to neutral. And then let's begin some sun salutations. The feet could be hips distance apart here, or big toes may touch. Inhaling, draw the arms up nice and high. And then as we exhale, swan dive forward. Placing the palms either to the shins or the thighs, inhale into your flat back. And then exhale, deeper forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, rise on up. So as you look up, get nice and tall. Exhale, dive yourselves forward again. Inhale, find your flat back. And as you exhale, bend at the knees, plant the palms. We'll step back into our high plank pose and pause here for a good 3 breaths. So just a reminder, this is nice core work here, you guys. Draw in the energy from that belly. I like to recommend to squeeze at the glutes at your butt cheeks here, get the thighs nice and engaged, and then kind of pump your heels back and forth so you can just find that energy to roll the shoulders back and forth. And then rolling the shoulders forward as you exhale, release the knees, follow through with the chest for your modified push-up. And then release the belly, release the toes. Slide forward, here's your cobra pose. And then press back onto all fours as we exhale. We tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale, we come up into your high plank pose. Roll the shoulders forward first as you lower the knees, follow through the chest. Release the belly, release the toes. Inhale, come up to cobra. And as you exhale, pump back to all fours. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Hips are nice and high to the sky, guys. Just pressing the heels to the floor as comfortable as your hamstrings. Maybe spread the feet a little bit wider. As you inhale, bend at the knees as you look up. And exhale, go ahead and step both feet to the top of the mat. Come up again, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, deeper forward fold. And then we inhale all the way up. Nice. Second set. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale again, halfway lift. Bending at the knees as you exhale, plant back. Step back. Good. Take another breath of air, inhale. This time without lowering the knees, see if you can challenge yourself to a push-up. If it's too much, the knees can come down right away. This time releasing the toes, inhale, come to upward facing dog. Peel the shoulders back, you guys, as you look towards the front of the room. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes, pump back, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale, come up into your high plank pose. Knees or no knees, lower down for your push-up. Either come up to cobra or upward facing dog. And as we exhale, pump back, downward facing dog. Again, take 3 breaths here. For 2. For 3. Bend your knees again as you inhale, look on up. And as we exhale, lightly step or hop both feet to the tops of your mats. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Come on up as you inhale. Palms touch. And let's bring the palms to the heart, close the pose. Inhale, draw the arms all the way up again. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Bend at the knees as you exhale, step it on back, flow through your vinyasa, you guys, come all the way down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Again, bend at the knees, take an inhale, look up. And as we exhale, go ahead and step or hop both feet to the tops of your mats. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Inhale, rise on up. Last set, exhale, dive it forward. Inhale again, halfway lift. Planting the palms as you exhale, step it on back. Again, flowing through the vinyasa, exhaling as you lower. Inhale as you scoop it up. And exhale again, pump it back. Downward facing dog, take 3 breaths here. For 2. For 3. Bending at the knees, take another inhale. And as we exhale again, lightly step or hop to the tops of your mats. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Inhale, rise on up. Good. At this point, let's go ahead and close the pose. Okay, coming into chair pose now, bending at the knees, go ahead and scoop up the arms nice and high to the sky. We like to do a quick check from ground up. You want to see the toes past the knees. If you don't, just lean the hips back. Again, drawing that energy inward towards the spine. Get the shoulders nice and relaxed, but lift the fingers up nice and high. The pinkies face each other. Good. Take one more breath here. Good. And then maybe we're going to pick up your heels off the floor. Find that nice little shake here, you guys. You can always keep the heels down if this is too much. Otherwise, we're going to sink the hips down nice and low. Make your way down into a nice little squat. And then using the palms for support, come up to seated pose. We'll work a little bit more on core here, guys, starting with both Navasana. Pick up the heels off the ground. And squeeze the knees towards one another. Now peel the chest back. Roll the shoulders back here, and then go ahead and lift the knees or lift the legs a little bit higher. You could always choose to let go of the legs. You can use the palms for support. Otherwise, for full expression, we lift the arms. Hold here for 5 breaths. Count it down for 2. You could always straighten out the knees, lift the legs a little bit higher for 3. Get your shake on for 4. Good, 1 more, squeeze. Nice, let's take a little break here. Place the feet down, place your palms behind you. I like to do a little bit of calendar girl here, kind of windshield wipering the hips, the knees side to side. Nice, and then from here we're gonna come back to boat. Tucking in the chin, we're gonna roll back 1 vertebra at a time because I want us to come back onto our backs. So take your time nice and slow. Keep reaching forward, nice and slow, until you come all the way down, hug the knees into the chest. We're gonna rock side to side. Good. From here, we're gonna straighten out the legs first, but come up onto your palms, onto your elbows, and keep your shoulders pulled back, chin tucked. As you exhale, squeeze the legs up a good 90 degrees to the sky. And as you inhale, let the heels hover. So exhale again, we lift. And as you inhale, let it hover. Exhale again, we lift. And inhale, let them hover. Exhale again, we lift. And as you inhale, let it hover. Good, 4 more, just like that, for 1. For 2. For 3. Last one, for 4. Good, slowly roll back onto the shoulders. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock yourself side to side. We're gonna roll up and down here, you guys, so you can pop up back into a squat. As we pop back into a squat, make your way back onto a flat back. Take an inhale. And exhale, deeper forward fold. Going back to the chair. Now we're going to flow. As we exhale, straighten the knees, dive yourselves forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant the palms, step back. Take a vinyasa or not. We'll all meet back at downward facing dog. Just remember to flow with the breath as you inhale, back bend. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, right leg lifts behind you. Bring the knee to the chest, step the foot all the way forward. Inhale into your crescent lunge. And then right away, exhale, plant the palms. You may now lift that right leg into plank. 2.5 push-ups if you wish for 1, 2. And then release the foot behind you as you inhale, take your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, knee to the chest, step the foot forward. Inhale, find your crescent. And then find your power push-up again. Release the palms, Left leg stays lifted. 2.5 push-ups if you wish. 1, 2, and then release the foot behind you as you inhale, back bend, and exhale, downward facing dog. Keep it moving, bend your knees, inhale, look forward. As you exhale, we lightly step or hop to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back to chair pose. As we exhale, straighten knees and swan dive it forward. Come up again, halfway lift, inhale. Bend at the knees, plant the palms, step or hop back into your push-up. Slowly lower, and then slowly inhale it back up. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Keep it moving, right leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, step the foot all the way forward. Come on up again, inhale, crescent lunge. Power push-up options if you wish. Right leg stays lifted in plank. 2.5 push-ups if you wish. As you lower the foot, inhale, back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Same deal here. As you inhale, come up. Crescent lunge. And as you exhale, release. 2.5 push-ups here. For 1, 2. And here's the half. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. A break's coming up. Here we go. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Knee to chest. Exhale, step the foot forward. Come up, crescent lunge. And here's your resting pose. 3 breaths. Keep yourself nice and grounded. Press onto the big right toe. Act like you're going to take off and run with that left heel. Belly is still nice and engaged. Shoulders somewhat relaxed. Lift your pinkies towards one another. Let's bring the palms to the heart here. Hinging forward, go ahead and release your palms by your side. Thumbs face towards hips. Dragging your left toes towards the middle of the mat. Straightening out that right knee. Pick up into airplane. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bending at the right knee, go ahead and step your foot back. Inhaling back to crescent. And then adding that power push-up. Release the palms. Right leg stays lifted. Come on down for 1, 2, and for the half, find your back bend. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. The home stretch, inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to chest, step foot all the way forward. Come on up for crescent. Again, hold here for 3 breaths. Pressing onto the big left toe this time. Nicely stacking that heel behind you over the ball of your foot. Take 1 more breath. Good. We slowly bring the palms to the heart as you hinge forward and then transition those arms back into airplane mode. Dragging your right toes to the middle of the mat. As you straighten out the left knee, pick up your right foot. Details, details. The toes behind you point to the floor. Good. Take 1 more breath. Bending at the left knee, step that right foot all the way back. Inhale again into your crescent lunge. And as we exhale, power push-up as an option, vinyasa or not. Let's meet back at downward facing dog. Now we come down to child's pose. And that concludes part 1 of our sequence. Making your way back up onto tabletop pose, we're going to basically repeat that sequence we did, but now adding the balls to the mitts. Take a ball first, 1 ball right behind your right knee. You want to squeeze your calf into the hamstrings here, get a nice grip of that ball, and as you squeeze that ball, go ahead and pick up the knee off the ground. Bring the ball, the knee to the chest, elbow, and back. Same hip circles here. Count down for 1, 2, 3, 4. You go the opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Adding the back bend now. As you inhale, go ahead and squeeze and lift as you look up. And then exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale again, squeeze up. And exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale again, squeeze up. And exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale again, squeeze up. And exhale, knee to the nose. I like to add extra. On the next inhale, we lift the arms with the ball. And then exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale again, squeeze. And exhale, back to center. Inhale again, we squeeze. And exhale, back to center. Inhale again, squeeze. And exhale, back to center. Slowly releasing the balls. Switch sides. You now take a ball, place it behind the left knee this time. Same deal here. Squeeze it right behind the knee, calf into the hamstring. And then as you get that grip, go ahead and lift the knee. Take a moment here, spine nice and long. Hip circles again. So bring the knee to the chest, elbow, and back. So begin to circle to 1, 2, 3, 4, and go the opposite direction. So elbow, chest, and back. 2, 3, 4. Adding that back bend element. So squeeze as you inhale, look up. And exhale, squeeze towards the nose. Inhale again, lift. And exhale, squeeze. Inhale again, lift. And exhale, squeeze. Inhale again, lift. And as you exhale, squeeze. Now you can continue doing this for 4 more counts or add the other ball. Same deal here, exhaling the elbow to the knee. Lift and exhale to center. Lift, inhale, and exhale to center. Inhale, lift, and exhale to center. Good. Let's go ahead and release the balls here. Okay. Now we're going to play with the vinyasas with the balls. So take each ball underneath the hands here first. I like to start off by drawing the shoulders forward, get a nice feel for the balls underneath the hands. So when you bend at the elbows, bring yourself to a modified push-up and then push yourself back. Okay, again, so draw the shoulders forward and then dip. Inhale it. Okay, so again, draw yourselves forward, bend, lift up. Okay, bring yourself forward, bend, and lift up. Okay, so we're gonna bring yourself all the way down to the ground this time. The idea is for you guys to drag the balls towards the ribs, towards the back of the mat. As you inhale, scoop up. And as you exhale, pump the balls towards the top of the mat. As you press onto all fours, pump the balls away from you to downward facing dog. So let's do that again. So slowly come down onto all fours. Draw the shoulders forward as you exhale. Bend all the way down towards the belly. Pump your balls towards the ribs, towards the back of the mat for your cobra. And then pump the balls away from you as you come up to all fours into downward facing dog. Good. From here, let's come into high plank. So with high plank, same rules apply. Now play with the idea of not lowering the knees. As you come down, find your push-up here. And then releasing the toes, inhale to upward facing dog. And then pump the balls away, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale into plank. And as you exhale, slowly lower. Release the toes, inhale. And as you exhale, pump the balls away, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, take an inhale. And as we exhale, walk to the tops of the mats. Bring the balls with you, flat back. Inhale. And exhale, deeper forward fold. Now for the first round of sun salutes, bring the balls to the chest as you come all the way up. Then reach the balls over the head. Exhale the balls to the heart. So let's do a full sun salute. Inhale, balls up and over. And exhale, swan dive your way through. Inhale into your flat back. Bending at the knees as you exhale. Plant the balls underneath you. Again, knees or no knees. Lower for that push-up. Either up dog or cobra. Inhale. And then as you exhale, back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees again. Take an inhale, look up. Exhale, step both feet to the top of the mats. Come up again, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Now this time, reverse that swan dive. Bring the balls with you as you inhale. And exhale, we close the pose. Let's do one more set. Inhale, balls over the head. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend at the knees as you exhale, flow to the vinyasa. Come on down. Inhale, float it up. And exhale, downward facing. Good. Bend at the knees, take an inhale again, look up. As we exhale, step or hop to the tops of your mats. Come up again, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, deeper forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Bring the balls with you, and let's close the pose. Okay, revisiting chair pose. So with your feet good, hip distance apart to begin, take the ball and squeeze the ball right over the knees as you squeeze the inner thighs together. I find it helpful for me to put and bring my big toes towards one another, really scooping the ball inside the thighs, and then I sink my hips nice and low. With the other ball, simply squeeze it between the palms and lift the arms right over the head. Check your stance. You want to see the toes per norm. Sink the hips back. Keep squeezing the balls. And then maybe add another layer here by lifting your heels off the floor and get your shakes on for a good 3 breaths. For 2. For 3. Good. Keep lifting the heels or not. I want you guys to come down into a squat as slow as you can. And then let's go ahead and release the balls. Release your hips. And maybe swish side to side. Calendar girl. Okay. Now we're going to add back that boat. So start off with one ball right between the feet. So take it to the arch of your feet, you guys, and squeeze first. Okay? And then have that ball handy onto the left side, onto the other. Grab hold of the ball and squeeze. So squeeze the ball off the floor first, and then find your boat here. If this is too much, release the ball. Maybe you can use the palms to support the thighs. Otherwise, give yourself 5 holding breaths here. For 2. Maybe we straighten out the knees, lift the legs higher. Good. Still peeling the shoulders back. You guys keep the chin tucked. Good. Maybe raise a little higher for one more breath. Then we slowly release the feet and windshield wiper the hips, the knees side to side. Good. And let's move on to our next thing. So my suggestion is just kind of keep the balls handy by your mats, because we're going to roll back one vertebra at a time, just like we did earlier. So maybe start with boat. Chin is tucked. Roll back nice and slow. Nice and slow. And then you're going to take one ball, place it between the feet first, just like we did with the boat. Squeeze, 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 and then bring the ball in front of you like this. Go ahead and tuck the palms underneath you. Take a deep breath, inhale, and as you exhale, squeeze the ball up. Good, and then slowly come on down. So as you exhale, we squeeze, and then bring it down. If this feels too much for the hamstring, please bend at the knee and lift. Good, and then let yourself come down. Good, so on the exhale, we lift, and then inhale, bring it down. Good, 4 more, just like that. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Fantastic. Release the ball. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock yourself side to side. Good. We're going to roll ourselves up and down again, so we can pop up into a squat. Take a ball with you. We're going to practice an arm balance before making our way back up. So I'm going to focus and face you guys so you see what I'm doing here. If you guys are practicing arm balance, I'm going to set you guys up for that. For those of you not practicing arm balance, simply come to Malasana here. Arms inside the knees, palms right over heart. Close the eyes and just chill here for a few breaths. For those of you working on Bakasana, find your setup. Spread the fingers wide, tucking the knees inside the armpit. You guys know the drill. Lift the hips nice and high And then go ahead and lift up 1 foot at a time as you press against the tricep. Maybe you lift up both feet, and then if so, maybe big toes will touch and hold here.
There's a guitar player, keyboard player, a harmonium player, and they're all chanting, and I'm talking into her ear. And so I started toning in different places in the body, and she eventually started pointing to all.
For those of you pretty comfortable getting the arm balance, add a ball. Squeezing the ball between the arches of your feet, you guys. Same setup here, squeezing the ball. Go ahead and bring the knees into the armpit. And then bring that ball with you as you come up for your arm balance. And squeeze here. Wherever you decide to go, just count it down for 5 breaths. And then we'll make our way back to the top of the mat. So taking the balls again, slowly inhale back into your half lift and exhale deeper forward fold. Bending at the knees, bring the balls to the chest first, inhaling into your chair pose. Straighten out the knees as you exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhale halfway. And then exhale, balls or no balls, go ahead and take a vinyasa. We'll meet at downward facing dog. Lower down on the exhale, inhale, lift, and exhale, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, right leg lifts. Knee to the chest, exhale, step the foot forward, bring the balls to the chest first as you make your way up to crescent lunge. We're not staying long at all, release the palms, balls or no balls, lifted right leg or not, 2 push-ups or not. We just meet back at downward facing dog. Good. On the inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to the chest, exhale, step the foot forward. So again, come on up, crescent lunge, balls to the chest first, release. And on the exhale, balls or no balls, vinyasa or not, whatever variation you want to take, we're basically going to meet back at downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, right leg lifts. Bring the knee to the chest, step the foot all the way forward. Bring the balls to the chest. Nice. And from here, lift. Nice. We're going to be doing knee dips at this point, you guys. So as you dip that left knee down, let's work on the deltoids today. So go ahead and bring your arms into a letter T. As you inhale, lower the arms along with the left knee. And exhale, come back up to neutral. Good. Inhale it down. And exhale it up. Inhale it down. And exhale it up. Inhale it down. And exhale it up. 4 more. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. Bring the balls, crescent lunge, pause. And then slowly bring the balls back to the chest. Remember earlier, we hinged forward here. I want you guys now to drag the left toes to the middle of the mat. As you straighten out the right knee, pick up that left leg. Find balance first. Point your left toes to the floor. And now fly your arms like an airplane. Stay here for 4 breaths. Or move the arms towards one another. Inhale the balls together. And exhale them apart. Inhale the balls together. And exhale them apart. Inhale the balls together and exhale them apart. Inhale the balls together and exhale them apart. Good. Bring the balls to the chest, transition yourself back into crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach. And as you exhale, your variation of vinyasa. Or skip it, meet right back at downward facing dog. 1, 2. Good. Left side, inhale, left leg. Knee to the chest, exhale, step the foot forward. Bring the balls to the chest, and then go ahead and draw the arms nice and high, crescent. Good, find balance here first. Now as we dip onto the right knee, we're gonna bring the balls forward this time. So as an inhale, we dip the arms with the knee, and an exhale, come up. Again, inhale, lower. And exhale, come up. Inhale, lower. And exhale, come up. Inhale, lower. And exhale, come up. 4 more. 1. For 2. For 3. Last one. Inhale for 4. And exhale back. Good. Balls to the chest. Lean forward again. Dragging the right toes to the middle of the mat, prepping for that warrior 3. Picking up the foot behind you. Point the toes first, and then fly here. Good. So maybe this time we'll do rows. Stay here, or bring the elbows towards the chest. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, pull. 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 Balls to the chest. Release your right foot. Inhale again, draw the arms over the head. And as you exhale, balls to the chest. Go ahead and bring the balls down. Balls or no balls. Again, your variation of vinyasa. Lower down. And meet me back. Downward facing dog. Coming down to child's pose. And that ends part 2. Three breaths. And so for the final installment here, it's for the cool down. We're going to make our way back up onto all fours. And then tuck the toes as you exhale, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, lift your right leg behind you, bend at the knee, go ahead and stack at the hip here. And then bring the knee right behind your right wrist, prepping for half pigeon pose. So if you guys have a block and if you need it, like simply sit on that block onto that right hip. It's coming into half pigeon. I like to check my work with that left leg nice and straight behind me. Doing the best that I can to parallel the right thigh alongside my mat. And choices here is to come down onto the chest. My suggestion is to take your left arm and draw that shoulder all the way across. Since we're doing some butterfly work and deltoids, it's a good way to open up that shoulder. So as you draw that left shoulder to the right, use the right forearm to cradle the forehead. 5 breaths here. And then we press onto the palms. Slowly lift, go ahead and sink yourself over to that right thigh. Taking that left leg, bring it all the way around and across. Prepping for a seated twist. So with that seated twist, bring that left foot right outside of your right thigh. As you squeeze that left knee in, place your left palm behind you. Take a sip of air, inhale, right arm up. And as you exhale, take that twist, tricep over the thigh. We have this cue that we use in yoga where we say inhale to lengthen the spine. Just allow yourself to get a little bit taller. And as you exhale, squeezing from the oblique belly portion, let yourself twist a little bit more. And then find that comfort for the neck here. Some people like to look over. Some people like to look to the side. Some people like to look directly in the camera. Just give yourself a moment here to just have that nice final spine twist. Now we're going to slowly turn our focus direction opposite side, just so we could step up on that left foot. Press to the palms, pick up your hips off the floor. As you swirl your legs, let's make our way to downward facing dog, facing to the back of the mat. From your downward facing dog, left leg now lifts, bend at the knee so you stack at the hips here. And then bring your left knee behind the left wrist, adjusting here for your half pigeon pose. So again, take that block if you need it, place it right underneath that left hip. Right leg this time is nice and straight behind you. And then take that right shoulder all the way across, all the way to the left this time. As you sink down over that right arm, use the left forearm to cradle the forehead. And hold here, 5 breaths. Again, we slowly come out of this, use the palms, surrendering over to the left side, bring that right leg all the way around and across. So again, adjust, place your right foot right across, right over that thigh, hugging that right knee and place that left or right palm behind you, right behind, like below the sacrum. Take another sip of air, inhale, left arm reaches, and as we exhale, twist over to the right side, drawing the elbow all the way outside of that thigh. Same rules apply, you guys. Inhale to lengthen, get tall. And as you exhale, take a deeper twist. Adjusting the neck, get nice and comfortable. Good, so full disclosure, I have right hip issues here, so I can't twist as deep onto the right side. But still trying to connect the tricep over the thigh. One more breath. So we slowly release from here. As you unwind back to the left, step up on that right, step up on that right foot. Pick up your hips. And then swirl yourself back to downward facing dog to face the top of your mat. Bending at the knees, we inhale again, look forward. And then as you exhale, walk yourselves all the way to the top of the mats and make your way down to seated position, extending the legs forward. You have the option to use the balls here, but not necessary for a cool down. Let's go ahead and inhale, arms reach. And as we exhale, hover forward as you grab hold of the top sides of your feet. If you're not quite there to reach the feet, bend at the knees, let your shoulders, chest rest right over the thighs, grab onto the feet. Take another breath of air, inhale as you scoop and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, lean yourself a little bit more and then tuck the chin. 5 breaths here. And slowly release. Draw the arms forward, take another breath of air, inhale. Tucking at the chin, we're going to roll back 1 vertebra at a time again, rolling yourselves flat back down onto the mat. Nice and slow. It always helps when you're trying to drag your fingers forward. Really slowing down as you lower, lower, lower. All the way back on the shoulders. Bending at the knees, let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock yourself side to side. Making our way into our supine twist, stacking first your right thigh over the left. I like to scoot my hips over towards the right side of the mat and then melt over to the left. Once I connect my thighs, my legs towards the floor, I pin the right shoulder down, extending the arm out, looking opposite of the knees, the chin turns to the right. You can always use the left palm to support the thigh. 5 breaths here. Pressing onto your palms, lift yourselves back up to center. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So unstack, restacking, left over the right. So as you scoot your hips to the left side, melt the knees across to the right. Always feel free to use a block as well if you want to ground your legs to the floor. Once you feel nice and grounded, go ahead and pin your left shoulder to the ground as you turn your chin opposite of the knees. Option to always use your free hand to help with the thigh, with the twist. And then finally coming back to center. You guys know where this is going. Happy baby. So drawing again the knees to the chest. You grab a hold of the outside of your foot here. Doing the best you can to stack the ankles over the knees. But be mindful that we're not curling up. No support at the spine. Bring the sacrum down. And then you have the option to pull your feet in closer. Driving the knees towards the ribs, towards the floor. There's always that last call for hip opening, hamstring opening. And if you choose to do that, maybe you draw fingers across the big toes as you straighten out one knee at a time. And perhaps just straightening out both knees as you point your toes towards the floor. Bending the knees as much as you'd like, as much as you need to, you guys. It's always all optional. And then release the legs to the sky. Bending at the knees, let's come to Ardha Shavasana. So half Shavasana first. With the knees bent, stack your feet right underneath the knees. Press onto the big toes since the legs are good hips width apart. Ideally, just want you guys to grab hold of opposite shoulders here so that we can lift the shoulders, tuck the chin, curl yourselves into a ball, allowing the back to expand a little bit more so that you can lay back down and then release your arms a little bit wider than usual. Keeping the knees bent here, close the eyes. Take a break from all the deep breathing and all the squeezing. And I want you guys to just feel your spine connect to the mat, connect to the floor, connect to the earth. Notice how we are just splat onto the ground without too much effort, without having to press down. So I want you guys to just feel yourself connect back down to the floor. And then now I invite you to come to full final Shavasana by extending one leg at a time, straightening out the knees. Legs are good hips width apart or wider. Give yourself a moment here to just rest for a good 5 minutes. Slowly deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Circle again through the wrists, elbows, feet, ankles. Circle them the opposite direction. Bending at the knees, hug your knees into the chest. Just let all the air out. Maybe you'll come into a cannonball. And then release the arms and the legs. One final stretch here. Maybe sway side to side. And then bending at the knees, we're going to roll onto the right side into a fetal position, letting the faces rest onto your bicep. Take a moment here. And then we use the palms for support to lift up to a comfortable seated position. Keep the eyes closed. Let's take a group breath together, you guys. As you inhale, draw the arms nice and high to the sky. Exhale, bring the palms right over the heart. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day. Namaste.